Hey guys, Home Mobile back again. Welcome to day 2 in the life of the OnePlus 10T. That name is always a mouthful. I'm going to walk you to day 2 in the life with this phone. Yesterday I was using the OnePlus 10T to record in the regular video mode. Did not really like the quality. Today I'm going to try the movie mode. You guys let me know what you think, if it's any better. And if the quality is still terrible, I might switch back to my classic Galaxy S20. And on day 2, woke up bright and early at 7:08. I drove to this recycling place near my house where I can finally dump all the trees that I chopped off. Finally took care of that tree that fell in my backyard for the most part. Luckily I had a saw, so it made my job a little bit easier. Basically cut up most of the trees, and then I posted on Facebook. Family came over and ended up taking the majority of the tree for firewood or something. Makes my life easier. I would need to be making like 100 trips just to dump up all these wood. So had to head here bright and early to get rid of the remaining scraps, but glad that is done for the most part. And at around 9:30 I had to make a call to schedule an oil change for my car. And this is where I'm starting to miss the Google Pixel 7 series a little bit. I'm having to listen to Automated Machine with no transcription for me to select from. So if you're getting a Pixel, you are getting the better software experience, I would say for sure. I'm not sure if this is an issue with OnePlus or just Android phone in general, but if you're connected over Wi-Fi, sometimes when you're trying to send text, just SMS in general is pretty bad. But most people in the US just use the standard text messages. And if you're on Wi-Fi and trying to send a picture, it does occasionally get stuck. So just be mindful of that. Then I would need to turn off my Wi-Fi. Speaking of which, turning off Wi-Fi is a lot easier in this phone. Just simply swipe down, tap the Wi-Fi icon, and it is off. You can tap it again to turn it back on. I'm not sure why for stock Android, Google make you go to so many different layers. You gotta click on the internet option, the Wi-Fi option, and then you can choose between the internet or the Wi-Fi. Just a lot of unnecessary steps. If I want to access the Wi-Fi, I'll hit the Wi-Fi toggle. If I want to access the internet, the 5G or whatever, I'll access that toggle. So that's probably the most annoying part with the Google Pixel series. But at least on OnePlus, just one tap and I can turn off the Wi-Fi. But going back to my earlier point, sometimes you will need to toggle off Wi-Fi because SMS will be weird, especially if you are messaging in a group text. And if there are iOS users, it gets even more crazy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if Apple just incorporate RCS into the iMessage, all of this would be solved, but they refuse to do it. So now we gotta work with terrible SMS messages. I mean, they have WhatsApp, Messenger, and all these other different platforms available as well. But then you gotta try to convince everybody to download an extra app and switch. And in the US, people aren't really willing to do that, unfortunately. So here we are today, still stuck in this SMS dilemma, even as we're approaching 2023. Finally bought a Christmas tree after Christmas. It was like 90% off. So just set it up for a second, make sure everything worked properly. I might leave it up for like a month or two, and then we'll pack it and try it again next year. There's really no reason to pay $200 to $300 for a tree if you don't have to. Here's me using the dual video function on the OnePlus 10T. That's the only thing that's left. I do like this dual video on the OnePlus 10 series. It's something that I always complain about the Pixel is missing, but at least this one have it. It doesn't have the greatest video quality, but little things like this are helpful. I'm just chopping this thing off for like 10 minutes and pretty tired. Alright, gonna chop this thing down. Harder than it looks. I know it looks like I'm going scuba diving, but when I'm axing this, it was hitting my face earlier, so now we gotta gear up. And this is my attempt to get rid of this stupid stump. Everything is stuck and frozen. Half the root is out, the other half is still stuck on the ground. So I'm gonna try to saw, axe it, do whatever I need to do to get it out. Here's my attempt of using the macro camera. When you're using macro mode, OnePlus does have a suggestion to say keep your phone 4 centimeters away for the best quality photos, but when you're actually using it, I'm not really sure how far I should zoom or not. It's hard to tell when you're actually 4 centimeters away. I wish that there was some type of trigger or OK option. Once you hit a certain range, they'll let you know, but you're kind of in the blind there. So this is a result of terrible looking photo because I did not know how to use it properly. For lunch, we got some cauliflower rice with buffalo chicken and avocados. And I just snapped a quick picture. Maybe this was another attempt at macro mode, but it did not turn out well. At least on the Pixel series, if I need to take my phone out and snap a quick picture, 99% of the time I know I'm going to get a good photo. But I think with the OnePlus, I would need to spend a little bit more time just to make sure everything is focused and framed properly. Snapchat quality actually looks pretty decent though, even though it's just a simple picture. And I went into the software settings just to make sure everything's up to date. Unfortunately, this phone is still running on Android 12, even though Android 13 been out for a while. It's another downside of not using a Pixel phone. You don't have the latest and greatest software. So definitely unfortunate. I mean, the phone itself is still super smooth and fast, and security update was sent on December 5th, so it was nice to see they're doing that. It would be nice to see them step up the software game to match Google though. And since it is not on the latest software available, I cannot find the smart sidebar features. I look everywhere in the phone, did some Googling, but unfortunately it just does not exist. So I was looking forward to trying that out as well. Maybe I'll wait until Oxygen OS 13 is available, but for some reason this phone is not fully up to date, which is a bummer. Thanks to my buddy here for giving me some tips on the OnePlus 10T. I did this in the past with other Galaxy phones as well, just to change the animation a little bit in the developer settings. It does make the phone feel a little bit smoother and faster, but these days all these high-end flagship phones are super fast anyways, but we'll take any little increase in swiping and fluidity, whatever it takes to make the phone smoother and navigating around. So I did play that, changed the animation to 0.5x. And by 1 o'clock my phone was at 59%. Here's me digging into the menu trying to find that smart sidebar function, and it just does not exist. Then went for my afternoon walk. This video is shot on the OnePlus 10T in movie mode. In movie mode you do have more flexibility just to play around with the ISO. It's like pro video. This quality just does not look that good. I'm not sure if this thing has OIS or not, but when I'm walking around you can see it is a little bouncy. I record videos on the Pixel series all the time, and on the Pixel at least it has OIS, so it's pretty stable for the most part. So I likely would not be doing a lot of walking videos on this phone if it's this shaky. Maybe it's more noticeable on the movie mode. I'll probably try the regular video mode at some point again. At 2:38, my phone is at about 31%. Dual recording on. I was playing around this earlier when I was trying to chop down the tree early in the morning. It took a lot out of me, still couldn't get the stump out. So I got a call for reinforcement. Now going on my daily walk in the afternoon, just so I can get my 10,000 steps. And I noticed with this phone, when I'm recording a video and I'm listening to music, the music would pause as I'm using the camera. And on the Pixel 7, when I'm recording the video, the music would still continue to play. I don't have a preference one way or the other. With the music off, I feel like I can think more about what I'm gonna say compared to the Pixel 7 Pro. With the music's on and I'm trying to record a video, it's a little distracting, but I can make a case for either or. No big deal either way. I can just turn off the music. It's just something minor I wanted to point out. So here you see the dual camera mode that the Pixel 7 series lack. Drag my head around. You can actually change the style of this too, but you can't do it while it's in the middle of recording. So let me pause it for a second to show you guys some of the other style available. Alrighty, change it to rectangle mode and also turn my phone horizontal. I know some of you guys hate portrait videos. So I try to accommodate when I can. Some cases like Snapchat, it's gonna be portrait, whether you like it or not. TikTok content's always gonna be portrait. So just gotta find a nice balance in the world, my friends. I'll wait for the light to turn before I run across the street like a deer. This guy's gunning for it. Would have been dead right there. These two people are turning. This guy is stopping. Alright, making a run for it. Good call. They just turned green. And here is the default camera angle. You can do 2x and 1x. If you toggle this thing, you can zoom in 10x. And in this particular view, you don't have the option to snap a picture. And here's the 1x. No ultra wide in the dual camera mode. I'll pause for another second to switch to another display option. Alright, finally we got the dual split video recording option. Not bad. Get to see a bigger view of me, front and back view. I'm debating whether I like this more or that little circle thing more. It's actually not bad looking. Here's my favorite park nearby. Got the little stream. Video quality looks pretty solid. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Sun is about to set because it's winter. Here's another attempt of me using the macro mode. I think this is 4 centimeters away from the camera, but it's hard to tell because there's no indicator letting you know when you're at the right length. Panorama shot on the OnePlus 10T. Actually looks pretty good. And here is the slow-mo mode, looking pretty solid. The background with all the trees and grass could be a little bit more colorful and better looking though. It looks very pale compared to the Pixel 7 Pro. Here's a slow-mo of cars driving by. Zooming in at 10x. Doesn't have the 30x like the Google Pixel 7 Pro. But even at 10x, this looks absolutely terrible, so I would not be zooming with this phone unless I absolutely have to. Here's me snapping a few pictures while playing around with the Pro mode. And this is a recording of me navigating around all the different functions on the camera. This is the long exposure mode used on water. I do like how when you go to the long exposure, it lets you choose between cars, water, and light. Here's the water option. Not sure why anyone would want to do this. It looks okay, I guess, but I think the regular flowing water might look better. Here's my second attempt. And I think the long exposure worked for water and clouds. I was trying to do both, but looks like it mostly worked on the water. Here's the same feature pointing towards the clouds. Honestly, don't really look that different in my opinion. Kinda ironic, I recently watched MKE BHD's 2022 Smartphone Awards, and the OnePlus 10T was actually the dud of the year. I still want to give it 30 days to try. I know OnePlus kind of lost their identity with the missing Hasselblad branding along with the alert slider. It does seem like a pretty simple generic phone, but I think the overall performance along with the fast charging speed will definitely help carry it. And the $650 price tag is pretty decent compared to other high-end flagship phone. So I think there's still a lot going for it. I do want to give these phones a chance before they end up disappearing like LG. A lot of the time LG's always been in Samsung's shadow and people never give it the time or recognition it deserves. Then one day they're gone. Luckily OnePlus and Google was able to step in and fill in LG shoes, but LG will always be missed. Did want to take a second there just to give a shout out to LG. Next up on the list is the tilt shift mode. Not really sure when I'm going to use this, but the idea behind this mode is the center's focus and then the side's going to be blurred out. It does look kind of cool. I have to shift my phone a little bit to focus on the water, and then the sides are blurred out. It's like another version of portrait mode. Here's another photo of me attempting to play around with the tilt shift. The center's focus and the top and bottom are a bit blurred out. Here's another attempt to use it. Doesn't look that great, but I kind of like the idea behind it. I think this is a decent use of this mode for this particular picture. And with the tilt shift, you do have the option to use the regular camera, the wide angle camera, or you can zoom in a little bit more. Seems like a neat little option. Not sure how often I'm going to use it, but it is there. Next on the list is the time lapse. And for time lapse, you can do the wide angle, the regular angle, or the more zoomed in option. So there's some flexibility there. And here is the movie mode recorder on the outside. And I'm attempting to play with the exposure here. No idea what I'm doing, just dragging the bar back and forth. And when in doubt, just hit the reset button. And by 2:50 p.m. my phone is at 27%. Definitely pushing this phone to the limit for the last 25% of the battery. No mercy given on day 2. I usually don't do a lot of selfie, but this one's for the people. Selfie on the OnePlus 10T camera. Here it is in portrait mode. My fake smile. This is what the camera settings look like. I'm actually doing a screen recording and recording the video at the same time. I'm surprised that actually worked. I was expecting it to stop once I turn on the actual video recording. Made my way back home. Saw a giant nest on top of the tree, so decided to take a picture of that. Here it is zoomed in at 10x. Can't barely see anything. Terrible photo. So zoomed out a little bit. Looks a tad better, but not by much. At 4:44, my phone is finally at 5%. So it's probably gonna last another half hour. We'll say time of death is roughly 5:15 p.m. This gives it 10 hour battery life on day 2. Screen on time is only 3 hours and 47 minutes today. Maybe I am just the screen on time killer, but no matter what I do, I always manage to kill these phones pretty fast. But I have no worries at all. I know that in 20 minutes I can just plug it back in and get 100% phone battery. That's going to give me another 10 hours and last me through the rest of the night. There you have it guys, day 2 with the OnePlus 10T. Got a solid 10 hours battery life out of it, so can't really complain. Screen on time so far hasn't been as great as I thought. I was hoping to get 5 or 6 hours, but this one looked like it's averaging 3.5 so far after 2 days. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover about this particular phone. Comparisons with the Google Pixel 7 series. Please check out day 1 if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.